Tonight on Kitchen All Over the World, I'm going to try to make koshari from Egypt. Join me. So we're going to start out with the sauces. That's right, sauces, plural. And we're going to start out with a vinegar sauce to amp up the flavor of the whole dish. So let's add a half a cup of white vinegar to a white bowl. To that, we'll add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of coriander, and however much red pepper you want. I like to take off that little sieve strainer thing at the top of the bottle because you can deal with it. Your butt might be spicy in the morning, but that's your problem. And a whole bunch of garlic. The next sauce we're going to make is a tomato gravy, as my mom would say. Not tomato sauce, gravy. So let's throw a little bit of extra light olive oil into a pan over a medium flame / induction, whatever. We're going to throw in some diced onion. Once that starts turning a little translucent, let's add in a few cloves of garlic. 2 or 3 is fine here. And then once that gets fragrant, add in a can of crushed tomatoes. And be sure to rinse out the can with some water and dump that tomato water into the pan as well. This is an important step. You cannot skip this step or you might die. Science. Next up, let's add in a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of coriander, and a pinch of salt. Make sure your camera is on the blur mode so you can have a little zen moment going on. Give it a stir, bring it to a boil, and then we're going to reduce it to a medium-low flame, cover it up, and let it roll for 20 minutes. All right, so let's get started on the rice. This is medium grain rice, basmati in this case. As always, run some water through it about 3 or 4 times until it starts to run clear. Into a pot, we're going to throw some cooking oil, another quarter of a diced onion. Once that starts getting all loosey-goosey, we're going to throw in some vermicelli that we've started by chopping up, but it goes everywhere, so just break it in your hands. It's a lot cleaner to do it that way. And then throw in your rice that we have rinsed and let it get all coated in that oil and toast it a little bit. While it's going, we're going to add in a Maggi cube. Add that to some water. Use warm water because it won't dissolve in cold water. Add that water to the rice. Bring it to a boil. And then once it's at a boil, we're going to reduce it to a low flame, cover it up, let it go for like 10, 12 minutes. You'll see. When it gets all fluffy, you're good to go. Next up, we got some lentils. These ones are sprouted lentils. So we're just going to go ahead and rinse them under some cold water. If they were not sprouted, then you'd want to soak them for about 20 minutes or so. So throw them into some boiling water for about 10 minutes. Again, if they were not sprouted, you would go for maybe 15 or 20 minutes until they're fully cooked, and then rinse them under some cold water so they don't continue to cook. And for the third carb of the day, because this is a carb-centric meal plus dish equals deal, apparently, we're going to do some elbow macaroni. Actually, in this case, I'm using cavatappi, which means corkscrews. Use elbow macaroni, that's the standard operating procedure, but I prefer these ones. They're a little chunkier, they have a little bit more texture to them, so it's up to you though. And now for a little bit of a topping, we're gonna throw in the other half of the onion, sliced up thinly, into some frying oil. And we're gonna shallow fry them for a little bit until they get crispy. Transfer them to some paper towels and spread them out so they don't get soggy. So the great thing about this dish is that everything is like non-perishable and everything is preparable ahead of time. So you don't have to like do this all at once, or so it seems. I don't know. I've never had it before. So you guys let me know in the comments if this is the sort of thing that you can just like have on hand. But I mean, it's rice, it's pasta, it's lentils. These are all things that you can just have in the fridge, put together in my mind, and have it be a good quick meal. It's not to say that it didn't take a hell of a long time to do all at once. Let's dig in. So, I mean, the tomato sauce obviously is the big flavor here, but the vinegar sauce also, as well as the cumin and coriander, are both kind of adding a little like base note to this. I don't know, it's not as hearty as I would have expected. It's kind of light because the vinegar brightens everything up, but at the same time, because of the sheer amount of carbs that are in here, it's definitely comfort food status.